It's Domain Dave from CheapWineFighter.com. Again, because doing what we do. Got a wine, surprise, surprise, and this is the Substance CS Cabernet Sauvignon 2018, Columbia Valley in Washington State. The party chick for this one, the 2018 vintage, received by two of the leading wine critics, and we're talking the top of the heap wine critics, 93 points and 91 points, and I found this wine for $12.99. I'm going to take a sip early because it's good. Then it's a 2018 vintage. One thing about value-priced wines is it's not always all that vintage different, you know, because they often get grapes from different places that they can adjust every year. Having a not-so-great vintage isn't such a thing. But with these wines, and these are Charles Smith wines. You might know him from Kung Fu Girl and Boom Boom. I think that was Merlot. He sold those lines off, and there were some very popular wines. But one thing about those wines that you always got a little bit more. The Merlot was the least expensive Merlot aged oak barrels. The Kung Fu Girl Reisling was a 1 or 2 vineyard wine. It's almost a single vineyard wine half the time. You didn't find that in those ranges. They always gave you a bit more, and his pattern is he's made these wines hit, then he sells them off and does something else. And now he's no longer Charles Smith wines, he's House of Smith. So check it out, because to this day they are still offering you something a bit more than what you find for the price. One thing I like about them is their tasting technical notes tell you what's going on. They name the vineyards, and most of the vineyards he names, they have websites. You can find out about who owns them and how long they've been in business and the kind of wines they produce. You don't find that in value price wines, you find it here. He tells you about the vintage. It's a long vintage. It didn't rain when it didn't need to rain, and it was warm when it needed to be warm, and it was good. It was the fermentation lasted 37 days with natural yeast. Natural yeast is a yeast that floats through the air and lands on the skins of the grapes. Most wines today, wineries use commercial yeast, because commercial yeasts are, well, they're more reliable. I mean, you know you have enough to get fermentation. Natural yeast, you're hoping you have enough to get fermentation, but it's thought that natural yeast better works with the grapes. You know, what was floating in the air from the vineyard will work better with those grapes. So this is a technique you don't always get in $12 or $13 wine. I'm going to take another sip. Aged in oak for 11 months. French barriques. Barriques are the Bordeaux barrels. 45% new. New oak. The rest is used oak. They do that to balance out just how much oak flavor is going in there. So this is a wine. It's 14% alcohol content. This is a wine that has really excellent technical details, and they let you know about it. I mean, I always complain, like some wines tell you that they were aged on oak. What does on oak mean? They're not even telling you. Here they tell you everything, and they have nothing to hide. So check out House of Smith wines. They usually give you more. Now they have a ton of high-end wines, but they also have affordable wines too, and it tastes great. I mean, a 93-point wine. Often when I have these wines that get great reviews, what the reviewer is looking for is not what a wine drinker necessarily is looking for in a wine. They are going to a different level. and it doesn't always translate to what you like. But here it does. It tastes great. I mean, it's a great tasting Cabernet Sauvignon. I mean, Washington State's well known for Cabernet Sauvignon, and this has good mouthfeel. It's got taste. It's got length. It's got great acidity. It has tannins. Too often, value price, especially Cabernet Sauvignon, have the tannins reduced. You know, just the people. You know, it appeals to a wider audience if you kind of dumb it down a little bit. Here, they're not dumbing anything down. This is it. If you taste it here, it tastes great. So that's me expounding favorably about the Substance CS Cabernet Sauvignon 2018. I liked it, and that's it for me. Keep it cheap, keep cool. Adios, and I'll be talking to you later. Bye-bye.